doing here? You've been waiting here all this time for me. Dedication. Thank you very much. I better make my way through there and start filming video 2. See you in a minute. Hello chickens, I'm back. I'm doing a number 2. I am totally blown away by how many people watched my first video, subscribed and commented. I'm blown away by the number of comments, and I'll have you know I answered every single one of them with pride. Anyway, before we go any further, we need to roll the titles. I don't have any titles. I cannot tell you how many times I've tried to record this. It's been more than sort of 12 or 13 days I've made attempts to do this, and I keep fluffing it up every time. And I'll be honest with you, I've been getting really frustrated. But I don't want to give up, because I did enjoy creating the first video and seeing all the responses and realising there are people out there that really do appreciate me talking about weight loss, Mounjaro and nutrition and all those kind of bits and pieces. So I finally got it here. If you're watching this, I've done it. Thank goodness. I better start on number 3 already.
Ridiculous.
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 Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Don't be ridiculous.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in my life.
Anyway, in today's video, I will be talking about goal setting and why I only have one long-term goal set, and that's it. Otherwise, I have a few milestones I'd like to hit, but I want to explain why, and hopefully you might find that interesting. I'm also going to talk about BMR and PAL, that's your basal metabolic rate and your physical activity level. Do you know what yours is? I didn't know what mine was, but I've gone away and found out, and obviously it's quite key if you're looking to lose weight and particularly body fat, because you'll need to know what a good sort of target figure is to consume calorie wise each day to make sure you're in a deficit. So stay tuned for that. I'm studying again. I haven't studied for at least 32 years, but I'm now studying for a qualification in nutrition and health, because I really am taking this thing seriously now. I'm enjoying it so much. So I hope to share things that I've learnt with you along the way as I do that. I do definitely, every video I create now, want to have a little focus on nutrition anyway, and I think the best place to start is on fibre and protein, because they're going to be 2 key areas you need to know about if you have already started or plan to start losing weight, and using nutrition as part of that. That's really important. I'll also share with you what my latest results are on my weight loss, because I do have some, and my full health update, as I did before. And I'd also want to have a new section which I'm going to call Dom's Dick.
Beg your pardon?
It's the abbreviation DYK, Did You Knows? And that's something I'm looking forward to sharing with you this video too. So yeah, hopefully there's something for everybody. I'm sure you'll leave me a comment if you disagree. Thanks very much. Basal metabolic rate and PAL. What are they? So basal, or basic metabolic rate, that is the number of calories in a 24-hour period your body would require and burn through if you did absolutely nothing but lied in bed for the whole 24 hours. So that's burning calories, doing things like your muscle, your heart, pumping all the blood around your circulation system, cell reproduction, your brain, thinking power, and of course breathing in and out for 24 hours. Those 3 things combined, plus other funny metabolic things that are going on, particularly with digestion and things, burn X number of calories in a 24-hour period. That's your basal or basic metabolic rate. So if you do absolutely nothing else, how many calories do you need to survive on a 24-hour by 24-hour period going forwards? And then PAL, or that's just short for physical activity level. You need to be honest with yourself. I've tried to be honest with myself. What is your PAL, your physical activity level? Mine was next to none. I'm definitely been leading a sedentary lifestyle, as I've explained in my first video. You might have been too. You might be doing a little bit of exercise already. So I'm going to help you find that in a little chart, if you like, in just a moment with some screenshots. You combine the 2 together, so you work out how many calories you're likely to be burning with your PAL, your physical activity level. You'll definitely know what your BMR is, and that gives you the total number of calories you need to cover off those 2 things. And then you can subtract a number that you feel comfortable with, so that you ensure you don't consume that many calories each day, thus giving you a deficit. If you've got a deficit, what's going to happen? You're going to lose weight, and hopefully fat, mostly fat. Right, here we are then. online, myfitnesspal.com/tools/BMR-calculator. So onto the BMR calculator and calculating your BMR. But just to reiterate what I was trying to describe not so eloquently before, what is your BMR? Your BMR, or your basal metabolic rate, is an estimate of how many calories you'd burn if you were to do nothing but rest for 24 hours. It represents the minimum amount of energy needed to keep your body functioning, including breathing and keeping your heart beating. Your BMR does not include the calories you burn from normal daily activities or exercise. That part we're going to go to the PAL table, the physical exercise level, to work that out. So let's get on with the figures. Back in February I weighed 353 pounds. That's 4.5 months ago when I first started, not 5 because I can't count. 353 pounds. I am 5 foot 10 inches tall, and I'm going to give my age away online. I'm 50 years old, and last time I checked, I'm a male. Calculate. So my BMR back in February was 2,469 calories, which is a whopping amount, but obviously I was very large, so I required that many to meet my BMR needs. So let's remember that figure, 2,469. Today, however, on the 25th of June, I'm pleased to reveal I don't weigh that anymore. I now weigh 277 pounds. My height hasn't changed, my age hasn't changed, and I'm still a bloke. So, what's the new calculation? My new estimated BMR is 2,124 calories a day, so it's come down considerably. What I now need to do is multiply this figure by my PAL score to work out how many calories in total per day I require just to meet my basic minimum needs. Not about weight loss or anything else, just if I was to remain the same physical attributes every day, what would I need to consume? So I shall show you that next. So here we are. Here's a table for your PAL, physical activity levels. So there's a few columns here. You've got your activity level, that's the description of what kind of activity level you lead on an average day. The physical activity level factor, so this is the score that it gives you for each of those. And then the lifestyle description. So for example, I have said I'm very sedentary. I lead a sedentary lifestyle. My PAL factor would be 1.4. What kind of person leads a sedentary lifestyle? It's somebody who generally is seated at work and they do little or no strenuous leisure activities after work. Somebody like an office employee. I don't know what on earth a precision mechanic is, presumably someone who has to sit down to do that. And I do very little strenuous activity after work. That's me. That's where I've been. So my score is 1.4. So what I need to do next is go to my BMR and multiply it by 1.4. So back to the calculator. When I weighed 353 pounds back in February, my BMR was 2,469 calories. And what I needed to do was multiply that by my PAL factor, which was 1.4. So 1.4 for my sedentary lifestyle times 2,469 calories came to 3,456, a whopping amount of calories. That's how much was required to maintain my body's weight and physical attributes, if you like, on a daily basis, doing nothing else but the sedentary lifestyle and my BMR, 3,456. So remember that, I've made a note of that. And what I'm going to show you is the difference now. So let's recalculate it to my new weight as of today, which is 277 pounds. So that was 2,124 is how many I'm now required each day for my BMR. So 2,124 multiplied by my PAL score of 1.4. So now it's been reduced to 2,973 calories per day. So between February and June, where we are today, bear with me, because my BMR has come down, minus 2,973 to today's BMR, there's now a difference of 483 calories. I now require 483 calories less per day to meet my BMR needs and my sedentary lifestyle. Okay, so this very final part now on BMR and physical activity level. It's the most common question I've asked myself in the past, and lots of other people have been asking me in the comments from my first video, is why does my weight loss slow down? If I'm still consuming a reduced calorie diet every day, why am I not losing the weight at the same rate I was originally? Or why am I not losing weight at all? So first of all, just to readdress, if you're not losing any weight at all over a considerable length of time, then I'm afraid there's a very easy scientific fact. You are not consuming less calories than what you're burning. You might think you are, but you're absolutely not. It's a physical impossibility. You cannot not lose weight if you're eating less calories than you need to consume. Okay, that's number one. So back to BMR and PAL. The reason my weight loss has slowed down, and I was asking myself this question too, is because as I'm losing weight, my BMR needs reduce. So the total calories just to maintain BMR have come down. I consume 1,300 calories a day since I've been doing that since February. So if that's what I'm consuming every day and I don't change that, and I don't change my physical activity level, then my deficit is now smaller than it was originally. And that's why my weight loss has slowed down. Now don't get me wrong, there's going to be many other factors probably. Your metabolism, your body's fighting back. It doesn't like to lose weight. It's worried about losing weight. So it's going to try and counteract that however it can. So there's lots of other things going on, but it's far too scientific for me. But this is a big wedge of that pie, if you like. You know, I am talking about food. Pies, goodness me. Oh my. Okay, so results time. Here's a wonderful looking photograph that you're going to really enjoy. It's me and my big bare belly on February the 8th, the day I decided to take my first injection of Mounjaro and start my weight loss journey, and a journey to get fitter and healthier, hopefully along the way too. I weighed originally, as I stated in my first video, 25 ginormous stones, or 353 pounds. Now, I don't know about you, but I see myself in the mirror every day, so I don't really notice any physical changes. I just see the normal me. So I've asked my wife to kindly take another photograph of me, which is here, roughly at the same distance. And I think I can see a little bit of a difference around the belly maybe, but not a huge amount. I'll let you decide for yourself. But obviously a lot of the fat that I've lost, I'm pleased to say, is probably visceral fat, the really, really dangerous fat that surrounds organs quite often when you're obese. And your body tends to remove that fat first, so I've learnt, so I'm really pleased about that. Anyway, my new weight as of today, playing trumpets again in my mind, is I now weigh 276 pounds. So I have lost 77 pounds since February the 8th, which is 4.5 months ago. 5.5 stone or 77 pounds. That's how much I've lost so far. So I'm feeling quite pleased about that. And it's onwards and upwards from here. So weight loss goals. I've set myself one big goal, one long-term goal, and none between now and then. So over 18 months, my goal is to lose half my body weight. So my starting body weight in February is 353 pounds, 25 stone. And within 18 months, I'd like to halve it, 12.5 stone, or about 176 pounds. And there's a deliberate reason why I set one long stretching goal and not having any in between. First of all, the long stretching goal. In 18 months' time, if I get there, I'll be absolutely over the moon. If I don't manage to do half my body weight, or 12.5 stone, I will still be very, very happy. I've got no doubt, because if at least I'm being consistent in losing weight and getting healthier in the meantime, then by the time 18 months is up, I'm sure I'll be in a very good place anyway. And I might be being unreasonable to expect to lose half my body weight. So that's number one. Number two, why don't I set smaller goals between now and then? Goals have the potential to leave you feeling like you're a failure or be disappointed. So rather than me set goals like every month I want to lose a stone, or every 8 weeks I want to lose a stone, or 14 pounds, you get there at the end of that month and you discover you haven't achieved it. Okay, so you try again, you try harder for the next month, but you haven't achieved it again. You're going to start feeling a little bit down, I think, if you're honest with yourself. I certainly try to be honest with myself, and that's how I think I would feel. And then I might start losing interest, and then I might start getting back to my old bad habits of eating junk food and things like that. So that's why I don't set goals. Never set yourself up for failure. That's the number one rule, really, I think. What I do have, though, is milestones. I don't have them written down. I have them in my mind. I have milestones. So my milestones I've chosen will be every 14 pounds or every 1 stone is the passing of a milestone. And the difference between a milestone and having a goal or a target is that there is no time set to them. A milestone is a marker in the road. So as I go along my journey trying to lose weight, once I get to a certain point, like I did this last week when I hit 5 stone, lost 5 stone, that's worth celebrating. That's a milestone that I've passed. But I didn't have a time limit on it. So I don't feel disappointed. I just feel happy I've hit that milestone. So I hope that makes sense. Hopefully I'll feel the same again when I hit 6 stone. And so on and so forth. I'm sure the time difference between 1 stone to the next is going to increase. That's just the nature of the beast, really. But I hope that makes sense. Because I find that's really important for me. There's never a point in time now where I'm going to go along this health journey, this weight loss journey, and feel disappointed. And I had to make that decision after about the first approximately 4 weeks, I think it was, 4 or 5 weeks. I remember saying to my wife one day, I threw my arms up in the air, I was really frustrated. I'm paying for Mounjaro, I'm taking this powerful drug, I'm doing everything right, I'm eating really healthily with a calorie deficit. And I did some weights, and I looked at my weights, and my weight measurements, and I discovered I hadn't lost weight from 1 week to another. And I thought, how can that be possible? That's madness. But there are so many reasons why that's possible. Far too scientific for me, as I've said before. But the point was, I felt cross, I felt frustration and disappointed. Luckily, I managed to get through that, and I've carried on, and lo and behold, I'm still losing weight overall, which is fantastic. So that's why I set one big long stretching goal, and I only have mile posts, mile markers, if you like, between here and that end goal. And I think you should do the same. Give it a try at least. That's right, it's the section none of you were looking forward to, Dom's Dick. This is where I just want to do a quick fire 2 or 3 little facts that I've learned since the last video that I thought might be interesting for you. So, got it on a card here in case I forget today. Number 1, protein. I didn't know this, perhaps you did. Protein can't be absorbed by the body. So any protein at the end of the day you don't use, your body doesn't require, turns to fat. Bet you didn't know that. I didn't know that. So all those people who go to the gym, all the gym bunnies who take all these protein supplements every day, unless they are superbly athletic, there's every chance that some of that protein that they're consuming isn't going to be used by their muscle building strength training and will turn to fat. So there we are. Number 2, 1 gram of fat is the equivalent of 9 calories, whereas 1 gram of protein is 4 calories and 1 gram of carbohydrate is also 4 calories. So make of that what you will. And finally, 10,000 steps, a figure I'm sure you're all familiar with. Read about it for years. 10,000 steps is the ideal target for daily steps. It's a nonsense. I discovered this recently. 10,000 steps was not some kind of medical recommendation. It was actually a recommendation by a Japanese company in the 1960s who built the first pedometers. Now, if you can't keep count of your steps, buying a pedometer is obviously a great solution. Hence, they came up with a nice round figure of 10,000. So that's a load of nonsense. This last video section I've had to record 12 times so far. I keep fluffing my lines. Unbelievable. It's so frustrating. That's why it's taking so long to produce it. Even having notes is a waste of time, so they can this right off. Anyway, if you're still with me, well done. You are still awake, aren't you? You sure? Anyway, at the beginning of the video, I did say that I was going to talk about nutrition and fibre and protein, but that's going to have to wait till next time. But what we have covered off is things like BMR and PAL, your physical activity level, and trying to land on the correct figure to understand how many calories you need to intake each day just to maintain your weight and your current level of fitness, if you like. So anything less than that is going to be a deficit, and that's going to help you lose weight. What else have we talked about? Goal setting. I really think you should try that. You don't have to agree with me. Just forget about it. But if you do try it. And if you do try it, I'm not cutting this out of the video this time. I have not got time to cut it out, so I'm sorry. We also talked about goal setting. Give it a go with my methods if you want to. Otherwise, just forget about it. But I thought you'd like to understand how I do mine. And I've given you my results. I've told you what my results are so far, so I am very happy about that. It certainly goes some way towards getting over the frustration of trying to create this video, which has turned into an utter nightmare for whatever reasons I don't know. Got to stop fluffing my lines. Maybe I need a teleprompter. Thank you very much again for watching. If you do choose to leave a comment or like or subscribe, I'm going to really appreciate it, and I will do my darndest to answer every comment again. I'm still blown away by how many there were on the first video, so thank you, thank you, thank you. And this time I'm going to try not to leave it so long for the next video. And one final note is I might produce some smaller, shorter ones, hooray, in between each main video, specifically for me to show you what kind of foods I'm preparing, why I prepare them, what kind of calories are in them, and all that kind of nutrition goodness, because obviously that's going to be a big focus point for you if you're looking to lose weight too. So, as a reward for making it all the way through to the very end, I applaud you. I'm going to do a little outro video for you, showing you that even I, Dominic, who absolutely adores and loves food, is willing to share it for the right reasons. Over to this.
You're my piece of heaven on earth. Oh, you make it all worth it. You're the reason I keep hitting snooze just to stay next to you. Over and over and over again. Over and over.
I think it's all gone now. Look, see yourself.
Grocery aisle,
All gone.
Little world, but so grand. Picking up the bread and wine like we've done a million